Welcome everybody to another walkie-talkie. As you can tell, I am in the car. Actually, I'm in Tesco's car park at this moment. And I'm just about to join this enormous queue so that I can adhere, along with others, the government guidelines of staying alert. And the reasons why we stay alert is because there is an unseen enemy, the virus, the COVID-19, which we don't want to catch, we don't want to give to others, so that we keep our distance, we wash our hands, and we do all the things that we're supposed to do. But we do have another enemy, don't we? That reminds me that be alert, stay alert, from a passage in 1 Peter 5. It says exactly that. Be alert and sober, for your enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. It says resist him. Stand firm in the faith. So although we are at this moment facing a real enemy, which is this COVID-19 virus, there is another enemy at work, especially in this time, who is prowling around like a roaring lion. If you think about in those days, in those ancient days, those lions and tigers would be roaming around freely in certain parts of the world, and they would be prowling around ready to jump and pounce on their prey. In the same way, this is what the enemy is doing at this time. And although we do see God at work in powerful ways, we see people growing in the Lord, the devil is having a field day as well at the moment. And just speaking to one of the leaders this week, we recognize that the devil was really attacking each one of us. And he will do that because this is a time where we don't have that physical connection that we normally have. We're not able to be with each other, to encourage each other, to pray over each other, and to have that accountability, that physical touch that we normally do. And I was very much reliant on that, the fellowship's encouragement to keep me going some of the time. So I do miss that, and I recognize that in this time, in the isolation, in the loneliness, we can become very vulnerable and feel very isolated, and that's where the devil will work his best to try and discourage us in so many ways. So how can we be alert and be aware of the devil's schemes through this time? We do need to be aware that he is constantly trying to discourage us. So what we need to do is we need to come together as much as we can. Although we can't come together physically, we can phone someone up. We can use our emails, use our WhatsApp, use our messages. We can go on the Zoom meetings and share with one another and express how we are feeling, how we're struggling, and all those things. I was talking to some people this morning about, after a life group meeting when you press end meeting, or after a live stream when you press end live stream. All of a sudden, you've gone from one place where you're with the fellowship and in that connection to complete isolation. Normally, we'd have coffee and we'd be able to chat through things that we've learned, all the struggles that we've been, and be able to pray with each other. But I, in that time felt very isolated because all of a sudden there was this dead quiet. And then after that, that would be the time where I'd be most vulnerable to the enemy's schemes. And it's just being reminded of that we should be able to keep in touch with each other and be accountable to one another and be able to share and encourage each other in the faith. So finding ways to do that, if you're in a leadership of a church, making sure that you're having your regular leaders meetings. If you're part of a church, join the prayer meeting, join the life group. Even if you don't enjoy the teaching, or even if you struggle to pray, just having that connection, having someone speak, just having that company is a good thing, because you might hear things that might encourage you. Your family, keep in touch with your family, keep in touch with your friends, but please don't feel isolated. If you're vulnerable in that, make sure that you get on the end of the phone and phone somebody that you trust throughout this time. Do not give that devil, who is prowling around waiting to devour you, don't give him the time of day. Phone someone up and keep in touch with each other so that we can encourage each other in the faith. I think that's all I wanted to say. you know, these times we are more susceptible to vulnerabilities through our isolation, but we're thankful that we have each other as the body of Christ. The church may be closed physically, but the church is very much alive. And it's just a matter of using all the resources we have, whether it's phone or video or whatever it is, to keep in good touch with each other throughout this time, so that we don't let this other invisible enemy have a field day. You know, we have a tough enough time as it is with this unseen enemy, COVID-19. We've just got to be aware that there is another enemy that's looking to discourage us. So anyway, I've waffled enough. May the Lord bless you abundantly. Don't forget to come and join us tomorrow, Tuesday, at 7 o'clock for prayer. And then afterwards, we'll be having a leadership meeting again after that. So I will see you again, and may the Lord bless you abundantly. Bye-bye.